Yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
We're back. Word of Mouth Podcast, Nate and Shelby, part 2 of the difference between love and being in love. We've chatted quite a bit about just some different things that I didn't know about up front, but Shelby has broke it down in such a way, man. I just love her insight on what she gives. But also, we want everyone to understand that this is just dialogue, our opinion on how we see what we've experienced and who we are. So before we left, she brought out something about falling in and falling out of love. And I wanted to know the difference between the falling in love and falling out of love. Like, how do you know when you're falling in love? How do you know it? Like, what are the signs?
Are you actually asking me this question?
Yes. Let me rephrase it. How do you feel when you think that action can happen?
He looks away.
I don't know. I just falling in love and falling out of love. I'm learning a little bit more as I conversate with you. I think now that you've said a few things, I remember falling out of love. I remember
Because that was more recent than falling in love. That's why you remember it.
You think? Mm-hmm. That could be. That could be. But I want to remember how to fall in love. Is it a certain thing you have to do?
I don't think there's like a list.
So it's not a list of things that you have to do?
No. I mean, for me personally, it's how my heart feels. And it's like you catch yourself thinking about them a lot. You want to know more about them. Of course, you want to spend time with them, all that stuff. They become a priority.
Wow. Okay. And so how do you know, and I'll express mine, but how do you know when you're falling out of love?
All the opposite of that stuff I just said.
Okay. So you're not thinking about them anymore. They're not a priority.
Actually, that's not true. You're thinking about them in a very different manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hurtful thing. It's a hurtful manner. There's pain involved.
There is pain involved. Okay. So when you use the word falling in, the analogy that I see with that is falling headfirst. Headfirst
Like
being
a trust fall,
Yeah. Well, that can
but
be
head
both
first.
ways.
Yeah.
That can be both ways. Headfirst for me would say that I'm not going to allow my thoughts, my mind, anything that can be changed interfere with me going forward. That's how I see headfirst. So my mind can be playing tricks on me and can be saying, hey, red flags, or that's not the one, or
I remember she
careful.
said this just a couple days ago.
Yeah, exactly. And it won't blind me to the fact of falling head first, because I'll immediately stop myself on the trust fall instead of me, just going head first.
Where's your heart and all that?
That's why I have to go blindly. My mind have to be completely X'd out
Okay,
before I
I
can
get
go
what you're saying.
forward. It have to be just heart driven.
Okay.
And I guess that's the part of me, because I think a lot. I'm an analyzer. Also, my mind is first before my heart. And that's what we differ at. So I really want to ask you, because you are a person, and you've expressed this in many of the podcasts already, your heart determines how you act, who you are, what you do.
It's my guiding
It guides you.
force.
Yes. How do you fall in if your heart is guiding you? Maybe I should say, how do you fall out if your heart is guiding you? Because your heart led you there. So how do you fall out?
It's not easy. I'm extremely, extremely loyal. And I will stick in something until I know it's dead. And sometimes even past the point of it being dead. So I don't walk away from stuff even if it's killing me. I won't. At least I
Loyalty.
didn't. That might change now, but I didn't.
Loyalty is a big word.
It is a big word.
That's a huge, huge word. Even when you're not in love anymore, you're telling me that you're loyal, or the phrase loyal to a fault? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep.
Is
Loyal
that
to the
torture?
detriment of myself.
Is that torture?
I don't know. Never been tortured before that I know of. So.
I mean, does it hurt your psyche? Does it hurt your brain?
Oh
Does
God,
it hurt
yes.
your
It hurts
thoughts? Like,
everything.
man, because even when you're being hurt, you're loyal? Mm-hmm. Whoa. Mm-hmm. You need to go into counseling, because that's intense. Like, that's really intense.
But I made a commitment, and that's what I made. And my commitment is I don't go back on that.
Ladies
Now-
and gentlemen, that's so powerful.
It took a long time for me to just realize that there was no more going forward. It was, and it took God telling me. I mean, it really did. And I think I've expressed before that probably should have been done about a decade sooner, but I kept asking, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? And, one day he just said, you will know. Won't be a big deal. It's not going to be a big dramatic reason, but you're going to know. And sure enough, that day came and I knew exactly, and it was done. And I need to say, we did counseling for years. We did all the things. It wasn't like I just walked away. Believe me, I did not just walk away.
Well, using the word loyalty, you wouldn't have to say any of those things, because, as you just said, you were loyal to a fault. So that says a whole lot about your character regardless. A lot of people are not even loyal to God, let alone being loyal to another person.
A lot of people don't know what loyalty is. They talk about it,
part.
but they don't know it.
That right there. So, I mean,
It's not something that the generations deal with now. I mean, there's not a lot of loyalty in the kids coming up.
No, I don't think we probably need to talk about what loyalty is, because we've lost that. Mm-hmm. There is no loyalty to people anymore. There's numerous of stories. I'll use one that pops into mind right now would be David and his friend, Jonathan. Jonathan was King Saul's son. Mm-hmm. King Saul wanted to kill David, but his son helped him, because his son valued the friendship that they had. He was loyal to David. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't carry that anymore. Once you cross me, once
I've been hurt.
Yes. We lose loyalty completely, and that's it. Should it change our love when someone cross you, or when someone does something to you? I don't think it should change your love. I think you need to conversate about it. Communication.
Well, I
is
think it
key.
depends on what love you're talking about. If you're talking about just love, agape love, whatever, the general love that you have for humanity, then no, it shouldn't change it.
It shouldn't change
If
it.
you're talking about, because we were talking about falling out of love, and that's what I was.
Well, even in a relationship, or marriage, should your loyalty change once it become unloyal?
What do you mean?
How do you make the difference between, should I be loyal to this? Should I still stay loyal to this, knowing that I'm not in love anymore? I've fallen out of love. I think that's what I meant. Should I stay loyal to this?
Well,
I'm not in love anymore.
The fact that I made a commitment was greater than that. Was greater than being in love. It didn't matter. I made a commitment.
So the commitment was greater.
Yeah.
My God.
If I made a commitment, I made a commitment. And I made a commitment to the 3 children that we had, and to God, and to who is now my ex-husband. Him too. So the commitment was greater than whether I was in love or not.
Wow.
Now, I still loved him as a general love, because he's a person. And we had a lot of history and all that, and we have kids, but the in-love part was not there.
Gotcha. And I can see the difference. I've experienced the same exact thing. To understand that being in love and not being in love, yeah, but you're loyal to the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy, especially when it's a marriage. That's heavy. Wow, we got deep. We got real deep. When you said the word loyalty, like that supersedes everything when you sign up. Like you say, "Hey, I'm in this."
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
No, I never, ever, 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 ever expected I would be divorced, especially after 25 years together or whatever it was. But here I am.
Wow. You know, these are conversations that you might not hear, you know, in a church or in some,
You can say that again.
just in a coffee shop. You might not hear some of these conversations, but it's needed. Somebody need to hear this. Somebody need to know that even the commitment that they have, the loyalty in which they have, God can still reveal to you. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. And I commend you even for the time that you stayed and felt like you didn't want to, but you did.
Yeah, that was the hard part, is waiting. Well, and there was expectation of things getting better. There was, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
Man, that's powerful. But we don't have these kind of conversations. Mm-mm. And I appreciate your transparency. Again, honest, open, authentic, transparent is what we want to maintain throughout this Word of Mouth podcast. It's very important.
Can't be anything but.
Yeah, it's very
So
very
if you don't
important.
like me, that's just too bad.
You don't like her, you don't like me. How about that? However, I can speak on falling out of love. I didn't want to. I kept saying, I'm not, and I will push myself back. I want you to see that analogy. And
You're fighting.
but I'm being pushed now. So it's a force.
She's pushing you away.
Yeah, and I'm being pushed, and she's pushing, and I'm
Tug of
pushing.
war.
And it was a tug of war, and I'm like, man, what do I do? Because I don't want to fall. And for me, it would have been a repeat action. This wasn't the first. It would have been a repeat action. So I kept saying, I'm not going to fall. Backwards. I don't want to repeat that, in which I've been through already. So I kept saying, I don't want to fall. Backwards.
That's your pride. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Because I didn't want to repeat
The mistake.
cycle.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it again. So it was prideful. It was hurtful. It was traumatic. But I do believe that there's restoration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm experiencing that. I believe that there's a revival that takes place within the person. And you're renewed and you're restored and you're replenished. All those things begin to take place once you accept the fact that it's not that anymore. And it took me a long time to accept it, Shelby.
Well, I mean, geez, I'm not talking flippant about my divorce, because that was a huge failure to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't take that lightly at all, especially after all that time. Wow. Huge failure. But, I couldn't keep butting my head against that same wall. Wasn't going to change anything. And once I knew that, God was there and understood what was going on. And
you used the word failure. Every time I made myself believe that I failed, I had to flip the word to want to succeed again, because the way I look at failure is how I looked at it in school. If I got an F on a test, if you let me retake it, I won't get an F again. So that's how I looked at my marriage at the time when, or just going through a divorce period. If I take that test again, I'm not going to fail.
But there's two people involved. It's not just on you.
Well, it was me just looking in the mirror at the time. I know, it's two parties. But I'm harder on myself because what could I have done better? I wanted to take accountability for me. What could I have changed? What could I have did different?
Right. And I think you need to do that when you exit a relationship. You have to, like we've talked about before, you have to evaluate all the things, the
Yes.
good, bad, the ugly,
Yes.
and the indifferent.
I think I was more hard on me than I was her, but it made me want to islandize.
Islandize.
Did I just
We're
come
making
up
our
with a
own
word?
words.
I wanted to just go
We're
away and-
retreating.
right, go
Retreat.
away and just kick it for a while, but really kind of dig into myself and realize, hey, you're not gonna fail that test again. You're not gonna fail that test again. So that word failure, it is not final. Failure is just a mark that you get. You get up.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, right? Just like making mistakes.
Yeah.
The whole point is you're supposed to learn from them.
Yes.
And in relationships, a relationship as a whole, if it fails, can be seen as a mistake. But the fact of the matter is that's a different person than you had a previous relationship in. And there's going to be a whole laundry list of differences.
Society don't make it seem that way, though. Society have made it so detrimental when you fail. Like, if you fail in a marriage or in a relationship, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about the church. That's another podcast. But society have made you believe that if you fail in a relationship, you're a failure. You would never have
You think
anything.
still, even today?
Yes.
I think it's so prevalent that I don't know.
No, that's why people are not getting in relationships anymore,
Yeah.
because of that.
And that's kind of sad because, I was there for a while after the divorce. It was like, I ain't doing this again. I at least ain't ever getting married again. And my perspective is changing on that, which I'm thankful that God's rearranging that in my heart.
Amen.
But that's sad to me that people aren't willing to take the chance because they could be missing out on the best thing ever in their lives.
Absolutely.
And they're never going to know.
Because society have said, hey, it's not going to be.
Right. It's not worth it. Don't put yourself out there.
That's so
It's
wrong.
just going to end in failure.
That's so wrong. So backwards. And I think that's a ploy from the enemy, too, because he know that when whatever God has put together, let no man put asunder. So that is a plot and a ploy.
And God, the only thing God said was not good in the Bible was that the man was alone.
Come on.
And so he created the woman from the rib of the man. And we can go over all that again about how she's supposed to cover him because the rib is the covering of the heart and all that. But we're supposed to be helpmates to each other and we're supposed to balance each other. That was the whole picture and the whole design.
Yes.
Now, does that mean you can't go out and live life on your own and kick its butt? Absolutely not. You can go do that.
You can.
Not saying you can't.
Yeah.
More power to you.
Yeah, right.
Go do it.
Go do it. More power to you. Thank you for bringing out that word, though, loyalty and failure. These words make a difference when you're speaking about in love and love, or falling in love, falling out of love. Thank you. I didn't know that falling out of love can be so gut-wrenching. It can steal your joy.
You think? It
put
just
you on an
shreds it.
Yeah.
It just shred it.
It can put you on an island.
Yep.
Yeah. But there is restoration. There is
Yes.
restoration. So if we both can I guess giving it to you, if you can give a recap / summary of the cultivation of being in love. 'Cause someone may have missed that statement that you said. What can happen benefit-wise of you falling in love?
Why you hit me with these damn big questions? Like, Nathan can't just think up any lighthearted, just whatever. He's got to go for the jugular with these questions.
Oh my God. You can handle it. You got it.
Well, I think if everything works the way you want it to, you have the most joy and happiness that you've ever experienced, and a connection that is immeasurable and, a soft place to fall. Isn't that what we all want?
Jesus.
A soft place to fall, someone who accepts us as who we are, kind of like Jesus does with the flaws and everything and the ugliness,
Absolutely.
and loves us through that.
You're saying someone can accept our flaws too?
I would sure hope so.
My God.
Because, like after the third month, we decide that we got to let those things go. we got to be honest about ourselves, right?
Ooh. Wow.
But you can't pretend. You have to be authentic.
Yes.
Because if you pretend, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you try to be someone you're not, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because eventually that curtain's going to fall. And the real you is going to be really pissed off that you spent all those months, years, whatever, pretending to be someone you weren't.
Wow.
And the other person's going to go, what the hell?
The real you. I love it. The real you. Well, there you have it. I needed Shelby to just kind of lay that down. Give it to you in the raw. Because we need to understand that authenticity is very important.
Absolutely.
With ourselves.
True.
And it would be great to be authentic for the other person too. They don't want to meet you
I would
2
think
years
so.
later. Like meet the real you 2 years later? Really?
Yeah, that might not work out too well.
I've experienced that before. I promise you I have. Like,
Wow.
It's not pretty.
No.
So, yeah, just be authentic up front. Be real up front.
Yeah, don't put on a show.
No need. No need.
No. I don't know why, but in my head, I keep going back over lust versus love,
Please.
which is what we started the other podcast with.
Yeah.
And I want to say, because you and I talked about it off mic, like, I do believe there are people that can fall in love immediately. Like, they're just boom in love with someone. That's just not, I've never experienced that, so I can't speak to that. But I'm not saying that you can't do that.
Okay. Because some people will say, no, that's not love, that's lust. They'll say that immediately.
I think that's a person who
parents
doesn't
and
understand
grandparents.
falling in love that way.
Oh, older people will tell me that all the time. Like, you don't love them, you just in lust with them.
Right.
Really? I had church people to tell me that. Bunch of people.
Yeah.
I was
But
like,
that's,
I love
you know what? That's stuff we say when we don't understand it because we haven't experienced it ourselves.
That's true. And I mean, you're different from everybody else. You know you. So how can someone else tell you that you're not when you know yourself better than anybody else?
Right. Well, you would hope you know yourself better. You're being authentic.
We hope. But that part in which you said, man, the difference between lust and love, I think that's a fine line.
Do you?
Yeah. Because being in lust with someone, you would do the same exact things as being in love with
But
someone.
you're doing it for a different reward, aren't you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But you're still
The
doing the same
purpose
thing.
is different. Yeah, and that's why chicks get pissed off when they find out that the dude was just after them for their booty.
True.
I'm just going to put it out there.
So absolutely true.
When you're not in it for the whole
For the
person.
whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, the physical aspect, both parties are always paying attention to. Both parties. And so how can you not?
I think it leans more to men paying attention to that because you're visual. I'm not saying chicks don't. I'm just saying I think if I don't think it's like equal across the board. You look, give me that look.
We're going to extend this one because no, it's not just all men. I don't think. If you was to put
No,
a
I'm not.
percentage.
I'm just saying that I think men are more visual, which is a proven scientific fact that's what excites them more. That's what they tune into more.
In 2023?
You're still a man. Your DNA is still male DNA. What are you talking about? Yeah?
No, in 2023, I think women are more visual than men.
I don't think that. I would disagree with that.
Tell me how. Because you may
Because I
think
think
that
it's
men,
the physical makeup of the actual human being, and I think that's not how God wired us.
you may think that men look at just the physical. There are women that just look at the physical as well.
I understand that there are, and that goes both ways. I'm saying, though, if you went to percentages, there would be men who are more guided by what they see because they're visual than there are women. That's all. There are women out there that are totally into what they see. Mm-hmm. And they're men. I'm not saying that men are only into what they see and can only be lustful at all. I am not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm.
There are many facets to men, just like there are many facets to women. I'm just saying that as a whole, I think men are much more visual than women.
I think in this day and age, it's either running neck and neck or the women may have a higher
Neck
percentage.
and neck sounds like naked.
It's either running like 50-50 or the women have made a stance in a higher
What makes you
percentage.
say that?
Because, well, the reason why women are more visual is how they speak.
I think you're just getting hit up by some hoe.
Okay. She is on it right now. Lord have mercy. Well, so
Did I say that out loud?
wrapping up. So true.
No, seriously, go back to what you were saying though, because I don't want to interrupt what you were saying, because I want to work on this.
Women they're visual. Probably now
We
more.
can see, yes.
We're probably now more than men because we're going to extend it. So if you look at it from a social media standpoint, the percentage of women that are on social media, whether it's a dating site, whether it's, one of
Any
the
social
apps,
media, I think,
whatever,
yes, women are more on social media than men.
that shoots the percentage higher because once they see a picture of something, they go after what they see. And so that's
You don't have an
visual.
option though. But because I used to be on dating apps and that's what irked me about them. I'm the kind of person that goes after a person's heart. It is very hard to determine someone's heart on a dating site.
So why is women the bigger percentage on the dating site than men? Because of visual.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that's because men are supposed to be the leaders and they see that as a weakness to be on a dating site.
Oh, that's true. Now that's true. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
And women, it's okay for women to be on there. And women are more social overall
True.
than men.
I agree with that too. And so what they see, visual, they go after. Not just you per se, but what
I was
they
going to
see.
say some women do, but not all women.
What they see, they go after. Men, what we see, we don't go after immediately, not from a social standpoint, but physically, yes. So I agree with you when you say men physically have to see it, yes, because everything is not shown from a social standpoint. Women go after.
Well, you
men.
can get catfish too, so that goes both ways. But
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I think women do it more than men.
So would you agree that from a social standpoint, it's women?
No, I'm not going to agree with you on that.
Not gonna.
I'm not. Sorry.
You don't.
I
think
still
that
love you
women,
though. It's okay.
No, you don't think that women like they have to have that perfect picture
Of themselves?
No, of the person that they're seeking, the person that they desire. Like it have to be that guy.
No. I can only speak for me. No. I don't think so.
Well, from a male perspective, I think men have to see physical, not social. And then we'll say, hey, that's nice. But we're
Well, I thought
physical.
that's what we were talking about the whole time, was looking at your physical.
That's why I said it. It has surpassed for women, because now if a woman see a nice body of a man, they're going after it, 100%. So men have, or catfish, but men
Okay,
have
maybe
created,
I've just been out of the whole pool for way too long, because I'm just like, what?
men have created these profiles that women can just gawk and look at because it's physical. I mean,
Women have too. And that's been going on for centuries.
yeah, but the men now have done it more because it's more women out there wanting that than men.
You should see his face right now. He's trying to convince me with his face.
No, man. Okay, so let's say, has anyone ever commented on you on any social site about your physical appearance?
Oh.
Male.
Yeah.
You want a drink? Wow. Okay. And when they commented, was the comment like, hey, let's get together, let's hang out, blah, 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 or was it just, hey, you're beautiful?
It would depend. There could be both, but there was probably more of, hey, you're beautiful than the other.
Okay, so this is where I'm going.
And maybe not the word beautiful.
So this is where I'm going. So women don't make the comments, hey, you're beautiful. If a woman sees something that they like, from what I've experienced now, if a woman sees something that they like, they're not commenting or inboxing or DM, hey, you're beautiful. They're saying the other stuff.
Well, say it. If I say stuff, you have to say stuff. That is not fair.
They are going deeper and saying, hey, you want this. Look at this.
Wow.
Let
Women.
me show you this.
Ladies, come on now.
They're not saying, hey, you're beautiful no more or handsome.
Okay, but we could talk about the dick pics I've been sent. So let's,
you get a
which
couple
are
of them,
totally
You get a couple of them too. And I know there's some men that would, I don't know why you're doing it, but hey, they do it.
they're unsolicited. That's for damn sure.
But
And,
women
why do guys do that?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
We do need to talk about that. But women.
But why do women do that too? I mean, maybe we should be talking about that.
Maybe we should.
Because why do you go to that level? Like, where's the class? There is no more class. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say there is no more, but it's waning.
It's the first thing that's brought up now. There's a different.
Sex?
Yeah, there's a different generation. I remember when I was a teenager, long time ago. Sex wasn't the first thing that was brought up. I remember having to ask the dad to go out on a date. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Like go to the dad's house.
Yeah.
I mean, go to the young lady's house and talk to the parents and say, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah."
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Now, it's not that. That day has sailed.
Well, that ship has sailed. So how do we get back there then?
I don't think that'll come back, Shell.
Really?
Nah.
Well, I mean, with my daughter, I sure as hell expect those boys to act respectful, or Mama Bear will come get them because Daddy Bear ain't around. But
You would hope.
if they don't, they're gonna have a problem. I'll say that much.
I guess the question that would be asked is, what are the role models for it? Where are the role models, even for the young men? Yeah, it's not really given anymore to be a gentleman. I have a 16-year-old son, and I make sure he understands this is not just because I'm telling you to do it. There's a reason behind this. Yes, you open the door. Yes, you do these particular, it's certain things that I teach him to do. Just being a man. Yeah, that's not taught anymore.
No, I think that's true, but why?
I wish I knew.
Because of the women's movement?
I want to say yes and no on that because women are, they're independent.
Oh, for sure, you're looking at one, but I mean...
And they'll kick you out the way and be like, I can open my own door. And you be like, oh, wait.
I know, I've done that to you.
You've done that to
I
me.
have done that to you, haven't I?
Yes, you have. I'm like, shit, I want to get the door. I promise you, y'all, man, we can just be kicking up like, shit, I want to get your door. Get my door? Okay. But I think that's why a lot of men probably don't do it anymore. Chivalry is not, it's not even accepted anymore.
But see, I think that just started opening my own damn door because it wasn't getting opened for me anyway. So I opened my damn door, and now I don't expect men to open my door anymore.
Okay, ladies, y'all hear it? Y'all, boom, that's it right there. That's why men have not been consistent.
But my father, I don't think he opened the door for my mother.
Well,
I don't really remember.
Men have not been consistent in it. I choose to. And I want my sons,
Well, I would really like it if someone would do that. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't like it, and I don't think it makes me any less of an independent woman for someone to do that. I am just so damn used to doing it that I do it. And it's no reflection on you that I didn't allow you to. It's just...
No, I do it now.
I know you do.
I get her door now, y'all. And I'm just Nate. I get her door. But listen, even if it's like for my daughters, I open the door for them because I want them to know that a man can do this for you because you're worth that.
Yeah, that's what scares me because I don't have that in my daughter's life. And if I'm being completely honest, the fathers in this world have
dropped the ball,
disappeared. I mean, I'm not talking about my own circumstance necessarily, but I'm just saying in general, dads have disappeared.
Yeah.
And I'm not faulting anybody. I don't know your story. I'm just saying in general, as a general thing. And it could be the women's fault, partially. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what every relationship has within it or the leftovers of it, but anyways.
You're right. The men have disappeared. We've dropped the ball. We've said, hey, y'all got it. We good. We'll just wait on you to call us when you want to do some lustful things.
Oh.
Men, I mean, I'd rather be honest with her. This is a woman that's sitting across from me. Why not tell her the truth? Because we have dropped the ball in that. We got to pick the ball back up. And we need to, I'm not saying for every man to be a gentleman. I mean, I don't, some men just don't like that crap. I get it. I appreciate the fact that my daughters understand that she can be treated that way and respected that way. And I respect women in that way, not just her. Her mom was respected that way. She saw me with just people, period. She'll see me stand and hold the door at a grocery store or in any store for anyone because that's my character. So everybody may not have those characteristics. And I get it. I'm not going to get on their case about it. But I don't think that we should just kind of put everything in the woman's hand. I'm against that, though. Like, we do need to pull our drawers up and, step up to the plate. I think some of us have lost it. As dads, you brought that up. As dads, we got to step up. Real talk.
Well, I think that if I'm completely honest, I am a completely independent woman and I can do any damn thing and I will do it and I'll kill it and blah, blah, blah.
Boom.
Boom. However, I think that, and I totally believe women can do anything and should be anything and there should be no glass ceiling or any of that kind of stuff because we are very capable But biblically, that's not how it should be.
Right.
And so I do think the feminist movement, not really the feminist movement, but the whole thing of women going into the workforce and all that stuff, and this is just my opinion, so you don't have to agree, was a ploy to get more tax money into the government.
Wow.
And it worked. And so then they had to keep it working. And then the family started to fall apart. Again, these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree with them.
Well, that's a good part about us having this platform. 'Cause we
Right.
can give our
But I can
opinions.
just hardly wait to see what people are going to say about that.
It may be and we embrace those comments. We were talking about it off mic earlier, how comments are what they are. They're comments.
Yeah, and
we
people are
want-
allowed to have opinions.
Absolutely.
Be respectful, but you're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, and we would hope.
Right.
Don't
But
come after us and try to kill us.
No. Well, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus, so we can do
Amen.
whatever. But anyways, I do think that it's been kind of a trickle down, and we're still in the trickle, still trickling down. There's been an attack on men for a long time, and now I think there's an attack on women.
Yes.
We can't even define what a woman is anymore. Give me an effing break. Come on, people. Those are very touchy things to talk about. But the fact of the matter is a woman is a woman and a man is a man, and they're two separate things.
Yes.
And we were made to complement each other. We were made to balance each other, and we were made for each other.
Yes.
And so, and the woman was made as the weaker vessel. That does not mean she's weak. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it was meant so that the man was the head. And he was to protect her. She didn't have to worry about protecting herself. Things of that nature.
Well, I mean,
The natural man role and the natural woman role.
a biblical answer to that, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Weaker vessel never meant weak.
Right.
So, I mean, thank you for explaining that, because a
It
lot
meant
of people
smaller. It meant, yeah. The capacity was smaller. You were a smaller being. You were. It has nothing to do with strength.
Right.
I think there's a lot of women out there that can kick a lot of ass.
Absolutely.
Whether it's physical or emotional or spiritual or whatever. Has nothing to do with that.
I agree.
But in the design of the physical body and all of that, that's what it meant. The stature, smaller, all of that. The physicality is not what, it's not, it's a compliment to him. It's not an overshadowing of him. Again, these are my opinions.
Thank you. And the great part about it, again, is we can give it, this is a platform where we can give opinions. You don't like it? Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to put anybody in a box. Like I said, women, I'm an independent woman. I'm not anti-women at all.
Right.
I'm not anti-men. I'm actually trying
hope
to
not.
promote that we both get back to where it was supposed to be and where it started.
Yes.
That's what my hope is we can see what we've had done to us in these last decades and try and recover from it.
Yes. And not be against each other.
Right.
But be for each other, and really let each role fulfill its purpose.
Right.
The purpose, I believe, and these are my opinions, I believe the purpose of a woman was designed to nurture.
Yes.
And the
I agree.
purpose of a man was designed to lead.
Right.
Period.
I agree with that completely.
That's my thoughts. And we have gotten away from that. We've did away with that, and it's something else now. But the good part about having this platform is that we can talk about it. Not expecting for everybody to agree with it. We
No.
understand that that's not going to happen.
I think I just stated in a couple podcasts ago that I understand that my thinking is different and not everyone is going to agree with it.
Shelby, your thinking is different.
That's
I love
fine by me.
Yeah.
I am not going to hate you. I'm not going to love you any less.
it. We established that we're peculiar anyway, so. I think you're different than probably any person I've met in quite a few years. Actually, I would say probably all my life there.
I am different, and I'll admit I'm different. And I don't always know that that's a good thing.
No, maybe it's just me, but it's so great. Why would you want to meet someone the same? Like, maybe I'm the only different person that thinks that way, but I don't want to meet no one just like me. I don't want to interact. I can't hang out with people that are just here. I want to go here.
Well, I like learning from other people. I like hearing their stories. I like wondering what their life was about and how it made them who they are. That's
perfect.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
So if you're meeting the same people doing the same thing, that's stagnant to me.
I agree.
Stagnant.
I would agree with that.
So I embrace.
And some people like that, and that's comfortable for them, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
But do you want to stay stagnant? It's my opinion. I don't want to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Shelby's completely different. It intrigues me to have conversation with her, to interact with her, to grow more with her. She's amazing.
To ask her crazy, wild-ass questions that are extremely difficult to answer.
Indeed. So in all of that, we thank you personally for...
Because we went way over.
We did. We thank you for tuning in to the Word of Mouth podcast. Hopefully something today sparked you to want to have a conversation with someone.
Or resonated with you in some way.
Yes. Maybe
hopefully it didn't piss you off.
No, if it did, I'm glad. and I say that I'm glad that it got you, got your blood
involved.
Pumping. Yeah. You may want to have a conversation with your spouse. You may want to have a conversation with your best friend. Maybe you're sitting in a beauty shop and you're like, hey, what's this falling in love and out of love thing? Maybe you want to talk about the roles of a female, the roles of a male. Maybe you're still getting some pictures in your DM.
Don't take the pictures away. No, don't take the pictures away.
Oh my God. Some of the stuff we talked about, man, maybe it'll spark a conversation. That's all we want to do. Mm-hmm. And we talk about it and we interact and we love on each other and keep it healthy. Keep it healthy.
Try to. Yeah. For sure.
At least. Suppressing all this stuff has caused me, and I'm going to preach this. When I suppressed all of these thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, it got me constipated in the spirit. That part right there.
You need some Metamucil.
Right. Some spiritual Metamucil. Oh my God. And I don't want to be constipated anymore, so I'm getting it all out of me.
Well, you get it all out of you over there, okay? You stay on your side of the table.
Oh my God. So with that, we love you.
We do.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Nate, Word of Mouth podcast. Nate and Shelby, we'll talk to you soon.